Good morning, everybody. It's good to see everybody. We have, obviously, today we're doing our second interview, which I'm very, very excited about. To me, this is my favorite appointment to do in the interviewing process, because this is the one where I get to talk about the stuff that I like to talk about the most, and that's like how to make money and how to get started and all that kind of good stuff, right? So now, remember a couple of things. Obviously, this is part two. We did part one last week, which was the first interview, okay? So a couple of things. Number one is that if they showed up today, you got to assume they're in. Okay, Bill, I mean, you do an appointment with them the first time, and now it's the second time you're meeting them, you got to assume that they are in the business. Okay, be excited. Smile a little bit. Know that you see them walking in, if it's at Starbucks, you know, if that's where you guys are meeting, or if you're wherever you're meeting and you see that they showed up, be excited because they like the first appointment. Okay, now, I do have a point on that. If you do a first interview, and on the second interview, you get a lot of people don't show up, you need to work on your first interview. That first interview is telling you that's where you're weak. Yeah, you know, maybe you're not breaking the ice the right way. Maybe you're not making a connection with them. They're not feeling you. They're not seeing that you're passionate enough. So you need to work on that, okay? But what will happen, that happened to me. At the beginning, I was like, do first interviews, and nobody showed up to second interviews. I was like, what? Man, nobody wants to do this. Well, I had to realize I had to get better. And as I got better, then I started to realize that everybody started coming to the second interview. And then we started getting everybody started, okay? So remember that. They show up, they're excited. Be more excited on the second interview. And I started off typically by asking them, when we sit down, you know, I'll say, hey, man, good to see you again. And remembering that now that this is the second time you're meeting, they're not, you know, you're not strangers anymore. Now you're kind of friends now, right? And so I typically will always start out by asking, you know, hey, so did you have any questions from yesterday? You know, or any questions from the last time we got together, you know? I'll ask them like that, because what I want to know is if they talk to anybody, if they read anything online, that any kind of negative happened between yesterday and today, I want to know about that so we can discuss that, talk about that first, okay? So for example, we start talking and they say, hey, you know, is this like a pyramid type thing, right? I know, ding, 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 they talked to somebody who told them something wrong, or they read something, and they got some bad information, right? So I'm going to talk to them about that. I'm going to explain to them why this is not a pyramid, obviously, right? Let's say they were to say something like, yeah, you know, I talked to my cousin, and he had said that, you know, you really don't make any money for like the first, you know, year. You know, is that kind of how it works? Right? I want to talk to them about that, right? I'm going to explain that that's not how it works, but I'm going to explain that to them, okay? So just remember, you want to find that stuff out, and don't run from any of the so-called negative stuff that they might have heard. Because what you're going to find is like 99.999% of it is not founded. It's not based off truth. It's based off of hearsay or based off of somebody's idiotic, you know, opinion. Okay, so be ready for that. You know, if they read stuff online, they're going to read stuff that was usually printed or published by some other insurance agency, right? And so, you know, they're going to try to take shots at Primerica or like that. We're not a big company or any of that kind of stuff. So just be ready for that. That occasionally might happen. But a lot of times what you're going to get is you're going to get them they're going to say something to the effect of like, no, everything sounds pretty good. You know, I had some questions, but you know, everything sounded pretty good. That's usually why they came back. Okay, because they liked it and everything sounded pretty good. All right, so that's that. What I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to get into the interview. I'm going to do it on the board. What I write right here is I typically will have a piece of paper out. It kind of looks like this usually, and I'll just write some notes down for them and give it to them, right? I have a notepad with me at all times. Usually I'm going to write this down. If I don't have a note, I'll write it on a napkin, right? I'm going to write some basic stuff down. I'm going to give it to them. Make it seem like I'm just kind of doing it just for them. So Daniel, any questions, man, from last time that we got together? Any questions from the last time we were together?
I want to know how we make money on this thing.
How we make money on this thing? Okay, great question. That's good. That's actually what we're going to go over today. Okay. When we're done today, you're going to have a really good idea how we get paid and how we make money and all that stuff. In fact, why don't we actually kind of start there? Okay. So here's what we've got. Let me show you the positions we have and the contracts that we have, so you can see how we get paid. Okay. So what we have, Daniel, with our company, we have a few different positions. Okay. Our entry-level position is what we call a representative. That's kind of where everybody starts. And then we have what we call a senior rep position. We have a district manager position. We have a division manager position. We have a regional manager, and then we have a regional vice president. Okay? And these positions are the only positions we have basically with our company. Okay? The difference is what you get paid at each position, or we call them kind of contracts. Okay? So for example, at a rep, you get paid 25%. At a senior rep, you get paid 35%. A district manager, you get paid 50%. A division manager or leader, you get paid 60%. A regional leader gets paid 70%, and then an RVP gets paid 110%. Okay? So you ask the question, well, how do we get paid? Well, these are the contracts, these are the percentages we get paid. Well, paid on what? Right? Well, remember last time I was explaining kind of the different products that we do? Well, this is our contracts that we get paid on our life insurance products that we do. Okay? So this is how you would get paid if you were licensed with us. This is how you would figure it out. Okay, so let's say that you were, let's just say for the sake of argument today, let's say you were licensed with us already and you were a district leader with us. Okay, part-time district leader with us. You would be at a 50% contract. Okay, so what that basically means is this, is that if you sat down with a family, let's say we did a life insurance program for them, and let's say roughly it cost them about $60 a month to start their life insurance program. Okay? To cover the husband, to cover the wife, and their family, the kids. Well, if you take that $60 a month and you multiply that by 12, that's $720. That's what's called like annual premium. That's what they pay, the client pays for the year. Okay? Well, what our company is going to do is we're going to pay this out in form of a commission. Okay? How much you get depends on what your position is. Right? So for example, you're a district manager with us, right? So you would get paid 50% of that. So your commission would be $360 is what you would get paid in commissions for doing that program with the family. Okay? And I will tell you this, it's going to take you about an hour of work to do. Especially now today with technology, we have all the apps like on our phones or on our iPads or any kind of tablet device. And if you do that in our company, we pay just about every day now. So like for example, if today's Friday, and if you did that early enough in the day, the company actually pay you your commission that same night. So it blows away, you know, in terms of being able to make income fast and be able to do this, right, in a quickly, in a timely manner, right? So now, when I'm doing that with them, here's what I want them thinking. I want them thinking, I don't care about the 75% advance, all that kind of stuff. That's too complicated. I'm not doing that right now. I'm getting them the general concept down, okay? But what I want them thinking is that, geez, I can make that in an hour or 2 hours of time. And I remember when I first saw that, I remember thinking, God dang, that's pretty dang good. That's pretty easy, too. I could probably do that. I mean, imagine if my brain's already thinking, man, what if I could do like 1 or 2 of those every single day, right? That's how you want them kind of thinking, and they kind of are if they're the right person and you're explaining it the right way, all right? All right, so let me proceed. So that's what you would get paid if you did that. So like if you did 1 a week, that's like $1,300 a month, part-time extra. That, for a lot of families, an extra, $1,300 can really be helpful for them, right? Now, if you're really motivated and you're kind of like a self-motivator, and, we have people that do, 1 of those a day, then, you can make easily, that's $2,100. That's like $8,000 a month you can make here. You can see why we have a lot of people that do work with us on a full-time basis as well, right? And so, now I say that because what if they hate their job? They don't like their job. Now they're thinking of a way that they can get out of their job, okay? All right, so $360 is what you get paid on that. Now, if you were to get promoted, if you were a rep, and you did that at a 25% contract, then you would have got paid half of that, which would have been like $180, okay? If you were an RVP, okay, then you would have got paid 110% of that, which is like $790, something like that, right, for that exact same hour. Now you can see why we have people that really want to move up and become RVPs with our company, okay? Now, that's how you would get paid as an agent. Now, if you started to build a team, now with us, we have an opportunity for you to actually build a sales team as well, too. Now, you don't have to do this, but we think you're kind of crazy if you don't, at least take a look at this part, right? And what this does is that it gives you an opportunity to make what we call like management overrides, right? And here's how it works. Let's say, for example, now, let's say that you were a manager with our company. Let's say you're a district manager. But let's flip the tables around now. Let's say that you recruited me and you recruited Curtis. So instead of us talking to you, you were talking to us about joining your team, right, and working on your team. Well, if we did that, so you're a district manager, Daniel, right? So you're at 50%. So here you are, and you have me, and I'm a rep on your team. I'm at 25%. And you have Curtis, and he's a rep also on your team, and he's at 25%. So if I went out and I did a program like this for a family here in Fresno, and it cost them $60 a month, then I would have got paid half of that, right? So it would have paid me $180. If Curtis went out, let's say he did one in our area, let's say he went out in Clovis, that's where he's from, and he helped out a family, exact same cost price for them, they're the same age, everything like that, just so happened to be that, and it cost him $60 a month, Curtis would get paid $180 for doing his. Well, because you're our manager, you got paid also on both of those transactions. Not a commission, we got a commission. You got what was called a management override. So how you figure that out is basically you take your contract, which you're at 50%, and you take our contract at 25%, and you subtract it. So 50 minus 25 is 25. So you made a 25% override on both of those transactions. So you made 180 when I did my program, and an override, and 180 when Curtis did his. So you made $360 that night, and you weren't even there. Okay? And so when I saw that for the very first time, Daniel, what that made me realize is that, okay, I'm starting to get the picture here. Yeah, we're in financial services, but we're really in the people business. Because I thought, wow, that's what I could make an override if I had 2 agents. What if I had 22 agents? What if I had 102 agents? What would that potential be for me building that team? Now, you don't have to do that if that's something that doesn't interest you, but I'm telling you right now, for us, it would really interested me. And I thought, man, yeah, I want to help families. I get it that this is a good company and we're really helping people out. But the more people I bring on, the more opportunity we are to help to make a bigger impact in our community. And the better it is for our agents, the better it is for me. Okay? And so, now, a lot of times when people will ask me at this point, it's like, okay, that's great, but how do we move up? And how do we get promoted, right? How do we become an RVP, right? Well, before I get into that, you know, these contracts, we have contracts on all of our product lines. So we have contracts like on our investments as well, our auto and homeowner insurance, all that kind of stuff. So it kind of works like that in all the products that we offer, okay? I don't have time to get into all of that today, but we will over the next times that we get together. I'll explain everything on that, okay? But I wanted you to get the general concept of how we get paid on some of our products, okay? All right, so how do we move up? Well, that works hand in hand with our training. Now, a side note for you is that I typically write this down on a piece of paper, but I write it on the bottom, and I work my way up, okay? So this is the bottom part of the paper, and then at the top of this paper, this is what I'm going to write. Our promotions, they work kind of hand in hand with our training program. And our training program is kind of a 2-part program. Okay, we have what we call our field training, and we have our office training, our in-house training. Okay, training that we do at our office for you. Okay, so let me talk about the field training first off. Okay, the field training is, Daniel, where you're going to get to go out with Curtis or myself, a licensed trained agent, and we're going to basically, you're going to get a chance to see firsthand what it is that we do for our families, how we explain to them how our products and programs work. Okay? And so our field training, you're going to see, we're going to ask you to do anywhere from about 6 to 10 of those field training programs. We call them like F&A appointments. That stands for a Financial Needs Analysis Appointment. Now, the reason why we figured 6 to 10, because that's how many we figured it's going to take for you to be very comfortable explaining our products, filling out our applications. By the time you're done with that, you're going to feel pretty trained and pretty comfortable so that when you're licensed, to be able to go out and work on your own. Okay? But here's the goals of this also. Not just to get you trained, which that's really big, but it's also to get you paid. Okay? So we want to get you trained on here. We want to work on getting you paid. We have a bonus program, and I'll talk about that in a minute. We want to build you a team. Okay? And then we want to get you promoted. I'll talk about how important that is right now in a second. So let's talk about getting paid in bonuses. Well, of the products that we offer, like for example, we do auto and homeowners insurance, right? We have a program called Prepaid Legal. Okay, these programs, from the very first day that you start with us, so let's say everything works out, let's just say hypothetically you're loving what you're hearing and we get you going today. By tomorrow, you're able to actually get paid on our auto and homeowners programs that we do and our prepaid legal programs that we do. Now, you don't really know how to do them for clients yet. We will, but even though we're able to start those families and those programs, you're able to get paid because of the way our certification works, okay? So these, during your training, you can get paid on from day one, okay? Then, some of the programs that we do, like our life insurance programs, we're going to also do those during your training, but you're not able to get paid on those because you're not licensed for that yet. That license takes a little bit longer. It takes like a month, 30 to 60 days for you to get licensed in that area, okay? But we still want you to do some so you know how to do it. We need to train you on this. So what our company says is we'll say, look, because you can't get paid on it, what we'll do is we'll give you credit towards a promotion, okay? And basically, here's how it works. When we sit down with the family, and let's say they started a life insurance program. So remember that $60 example? That $60 life insurance example? Well, you didn't get paid on that because you're just training, but you're going to get the $720. You're going to get that of credit towards your promotion. And so if we equal, during those 6 to 10 appointments, 2,500 production or more, then the day that that happens, you're going to bypass the rep contract, and you're going to jump up to a senior rep position right off the bat. Okay? Now, if we do that, but remember I said we want to build you a team? So what you're going to find is that when we sit down with some of these families, some of them are looking to make extra income, some of them want part-time jobs, some of them are looking for career change, to make a career change. If we talk to them and they're interested in it, then we bring them on. If we bring on 3 associates now onto your team, if we do both of those, then the day that happens, you'll bypass the rep and the senior rep, and you'll start at a district manager contract right off the bat, from day one, from the day you're licensed, which is double the rep contract from day one. Okay? And so that is a really, really, really big deal in our business, and we're excited, and we help a lot of our associates that come on with us do that. Okay? Now, heck, you could probably think of 3 people already that you think that would be good here, right? And so that is not going to be very hard for you to do at all. So we're going to help you get trained, paid, and bonus. I'll talk about that. Build a team and get you promoted. Now, bonus, what does that mean? Well, also now, as an incentive for you, is that if we help out 3 families with life insurance programs during your training, and those 3 associates that came on as well, then you qualify for a $300, basically like a training bonus. It's called a fast earn bonus, okay, for you there. Now, what's the catch? Because I know this sounds pretty good. I remember when I first saw it, I thought, man, that's really good. Well, here's kind of, if there's a catch, there's not really a catch, but there is an incentive for it. It starts at your first 30 days. So we're going to start your clock, and so your 30 days is starting kind of like today. We're starting your clock now, okay? Now, very important point now. What you're finding now is I'm talking to them. When I did the first interview, it wasn't really like about them. It was kind of like me talking about the company and all that kind of stuff. Now what I'm doing is I'm starting to put them into the position like they're already here. See that? I'm starting to talk now, like when I said the promotions is flipping around, let's say if it was you, right? I'm putting them into position so they could see themselves and what it would be like if they were here, right? And so like right here on the clock, in 30 days I said, so like for example, your clock is going to be starting today. See, so I'm already saying that to them as like we're getting them started already, getting them going, okay? That makes sense? Okay? All right, so you'll catch that. I'll do it a few more times too throughout my talk. Okay, so the first 30 days, and that's how that goes there. Now, we also have office trainings for you that we're going to have at our office that are there to help you learn and to grow and to build your team, build your business. The first one we do, now depending on where I'm at, if I'm here in Fresno, I'm going to talk about the Wednesday night meeting. If I'm in Visalia, I'm going to tell them the Tuesday night meeting. Okay? but I'm going to explain to him. Let's say that he lives in Visalia. I say, okay, so what we do, Daniel, is we have a meeting once a week, and it's on Tuesday, and it's at 7 p.m. or whatever time it starts. Okay, it's at 7 p.m. And that is, we call that like an opportunity meeting, or op night for short. But that meeting is designed for you to, if you know people that you think that would be good at the business or that you would like to bring onto your team, you can actually invite them down. We have a lot of guests that will show up to learn about a Primerica opportunity. Okay. Now, I will tell you this: these trainings that I'm going to show you right here. People always ask me, are they mandatory? They're not really mandatory. But the people that do the best, the fastest, are the ones that are able to show up the most and the most frequently. Okay. The people that are able to make them the most do the best the fastest. Okay. Now we don't have quotas. We don't have minimums. We're never going to ask you to do 1 million sales. The only thing we're going to ask you is to do the best you can to get your schedule to show up to our trainings when we do that. Okay? That's the only thing we ask, because we know that your success is tied to your ability to show up. Okay? We've never had anybody that couldn't show up that did good. Fast, anyways. Okay? So we do those on Tuesdays for you. The other ones we have on Saturday, we do a training at our office as well. And that's kind of more like a product training class, or like a recruiting class we might do, or how to do Primerica. I mean, that's more of a how-to on Saturdays, and we do that at 9:30. Okay, and you're going to be invited to that. You won't be the only new person. There'll be some other brand new people there as well. We'll have some of our existing agents, existing team, but those are really, really imperative and crucial for you there. Okay, and then the last thing we do is on Monday, we do a conference call at 10 a.m. and it's like 10 or 15 minutes. In fact, we have a lot of people that work and they call in like on their break time to listen in. And so you'll actually be invited now to call in on that. Okay, so if you look at these right now, do any of these conflict with anything that you have going on right now, schedule-wise?
No.
No? Okay, great. Then just put those into your calendar and just set that expectation level that you're going to be there. Okay, those are things that you'll be able to participate with as you're getting in. Okay. Now, and I want to put that out there for them, by the way, because he may say, "Oh, I work on Tuesday nights." Okay, well, I'm going to have that conversation with him about that. Doesn't mean he can't do it, but we have some extra work to do. I'm going to have to really make that up with him, right, for him to do it. I've had a lot of people that couldn't make it because of work, but then they eventually will reschedule their schedule so that they can get there, right? So, all right. So we did that. I'm talking about that. Then I'm going to jump into the licensing. So any questions so far on that? Anything there, Daniel? To make sense there? Okay. Well, let's talk about the licensing process now. How you get licensed through all of this as well. Well, you remember how I talked about, we have our auto and homeowners certification. Okay, well, to get, like in California, to get your P&C license and to do all of that and to get the classing and all that stuff going, I mean, it's about $200 for the licensing, and with classes another $400. It's about $600 to get that. To get your prepaid legal, if you were just to do that alone, it's like $100. Your life insurance in the state of California is another couple $100, but with the class, it's like $400 in books and everything like that. So you're looking at another $600. Your securities license in California is between $500 and $600, but if you factor in books, there's not a class for it, but the study online material, all the stuff that you get is about another $600. So you're looking at like $1,900 in licensing, because it's not free to get all these licenses. You got to pay for it. Okay, so if you were to go with most companies to do something like this, you'd have to pay about $1,900 to do that, to get started with us. Okay. Now with us though, or Primerica pays for the majority of that all up front for you. Okay? So to work with us, Primerica pays for like $1,800 of it right up front. So you pay a $99 licensing fee, okay? And you pay a $25 a month business subscription fee, which that kind of covers like because you're going to get all kinds of tools, like all the software programs I was telling you about that we get on our phones and our iPads and all that kind of stuff. That's all included with that. You'll get your own website. You get access to all the training videos, all the study for the licensing, all that kind of stuff, all those tools. It's all part of that online tools that you get. It's all for $25. You get basically $1 million software system you get for $25. Okay? Now, in your situation, the $99 licensing fee, is that something that you would be able to do right away, or something you think you would need a little bit of time with?
Probably do it right away.
Probably do it right away. Okay, good, good. Well, basically then, what we would need to do for you is, the next steps for you is to fill out what we call an IBA. Okay? And that IBA, that stands for Independent Business Application. That's like your official hire on paperwork. Okay? That's going to get you a solution number. So like tomorrow, then you're actually going to be able to start making money as quickly as tomorrow. Okay? Part of that, we're going to fill out, it's called a state app. And that state app is going to actually go to the state of California, and it's going to start your licensing process so you can get your life insurance license. Okay? Okay. And then after we do that, then what we're going to do is we're going to start, we're going to talk about a game plan for you. Okay? So that how we can get you up and running, make money as quickly as possible. But we're going to also get you our new rep guide and get you going based off of that, man. So I got to tell you, Dan, I'm excited about you. I was excited about you yesterday when I met you. I really think this is going to be a good fit for you. And, welcome aboard. I mean, great to have you, right? So we'll shake his hand at that point. I'm going to get an IBA out here. I'm actually Curtis. We'll get his IBA started here. And then we'll set up another time after today and talk about how we can get you going, okay? All right? And so there's no questions to be asked at this point. It's that simple because we did it all the first time. We explained it, and now the second time, they're not going to stop you. We're in, and they're recruited. They're assuming. They need you to be assuming that we're going to get them going, okay? So now, let's back up. Let's say that he would have said, well, I probably need a little bit of time with it. Okay, when I asked the $99, is that something you can do right away or something you need a little bit of time with? He may want to get started, but really doesn't have $99 right now. He might say, well, I need a little bit of time with it. So I'm going to say, okay, well, like, when were you thinking? All right, and he says, well, I was thinking like, on Wednesday. I get paid on Wednesday. Okay, he says that. I'm going to say this. Oh, no problem. In fact, actually, then what we need to do for you is we're going to start, the next steps for you is want to fill out your IBA. Okay, we're going to submit your IBA, get that stuff going. We'll set it up so that your 99 doesn't even hit you till next Wednesday anyways. So you're good to go, okay? Then we're going to put together a game plan for you. All right, and then we're going to set up a time we can do your new rep guide so we can talk about how to get you started, get you off to the right kind of start. But hey, I just wanted to, hey, Daniel, welcome aboard, buddy. Welcome aboard. Right? Same process. I'm still going to get all his info, just not going to submit it till Wednesday. Right? Do you care if you sing it today or sing it on Wednesday? No, right? The only time that kind of matters is at the end of the month and you want it to kind of count, but hey, it's all right. We got him in. I want him in, and I want him showing up, and I want him coming to these meetings, okay? And I'm going to treat it the exact same way.